Hey everybody, my name is Brett Gertzma. I'm the director for Zeeland Rec. This video is meant to make sure you are fully trained and fully aware of all the COVID-19 policies and expectations that are connected to that for you as a Zeeland Rec instructor or a coach. So the next 7 or 8 minutes or so are to accomplish that. I'm going to share my screen here. And you will see here are all of our COVID policies. Two different things you're looking at. The first thing you're looking at here are all the policies that we send to our participants and parents. These look different than what you have here because these are training for you. These are what we send our parents. It's a lot of the same information, but it just looks a little bit different. It's important though that you review whichever one is appropriate for you prior to the start of your program. So if you are running an indoor program that's not a sport, you should review this one. If you're running an outdoor program that's not a sport, you should review this one. If you're running an indoor youth sports program, whether that's a camp, clinic, or league, you should review this one. If you're running an outdoor youth sports program, camp, clinic, or league, it's this one. Indoor adult sports program, aquatics program, fitness program. After this video is done, make sure you review this in detail as well, and click on the link here to make sure that you are fully aware of what is being told to participants as well. The next stuff here is all the policies that you need to be aware of for you and all the expectations for you as a coach or instructor. First, there's a video you have to watch. It's a 13-minute video. If you've already watched it once this year, you don't need to watch it again, but it's required for your protection that you watch that video prior to the start of the program. And then after you watch it, you must confirm you watch it by clicking on this link here. Number 2, you and all of your assistant instructors or coaches must take a health screening test prior to each day. The reason for this is it doesn't do us any good to do all the protections to make sure kids are healthy or adults are healthy before they show up to a program if the instructors are not healthy themselves. So this is required of you and all your assistants. Every single time, every single day you are leading a camp, you must take this health screening test prior to each day that you are leading something. Number 3, you're going to get a COVID kit from your direct contact on the rec staff prior to the start of your program, probably a week or so before it starts. In that kit are the following things: a no-touch thermometer, a spray bottle of bleach with towels, gloves, hand sanitizer, and roster forms with a clipboard. We'll go into how those all work in just a second. Number 4, prior to the start of each day, you must do a check-in process. This is what the check-in process entails. First, the parents or guardians must escort their child, if it's a youth program, through the check-in process. What we're trying to avoid here is that parent just drops their kid off, drives away, kid comes and tests high on the temperature check or has a COVID symptom, and we send them away and they have no parent to take them home. So the parent must escort their child through that process, through the temperature check and the symptom check. Once they pass, and the parent can go, but they can't just drop off and take off. They have to escort them through. If a parent does not do that well the first day or the first week of your program, please connect with that parent after the first day and make sure they know they have to do a better job of that the next time. For indoor programs, you must greet the participants plus their parent or guardian at the closest exterior door to the location of the program. The door that you choose for that, you must coordinate that with your direct contact on the rec staff, and then we will communicate which door that is and how they get there to participants in the pre-program email we always send to participants 3 or 4 days before the program starts. So if you don't know what that is yet, please make sure you and your direct contact are on the same page about what door that is so that we provide the correct information to the participants. After the kids pass that check-in process, parents must go. They cannot stay. Parents are not allowed inside the facility anytime for indoor programs. For outdoor programs, set up a check-in area of some sort that's clearly obvious, whether it's a table, whether that's a cone, whether it's a flag. Make sure that wherever you set up is obvious, that parents know I need to go there after I park and walk up rather than not knowing where to go. So just make sure you set clearly marked check-in areas, whether it's an outdoor program or clearly decided on and communicated doors for people to come to for the check-in process. Last few parts of the check-in process, you do a no-touch temperature check. for every participant. If they have 100.4 or higher, they can't participate that day. If that happens, let that person know and their parent know that they can't participate that day, and that Zeeland Rec will be in contact. What happens in that case is they go into our protocol and we handle it directly with the parent or guardian, following the proper guidelines. If that happens to somebody, besides telling them they can't participate that day, you also must pass that name of the participant and why they can't participate onto your direct contact on the rec staff. Then they will know, our staff will know that we need to, that somebody's in our protocol and we need to solve that as soon as possible. And then we will inform you of next steps and the participant of next steps. Next, after they pass the temperature check, you do a COVID symptom questionnaire. There's 2 questions there, these 2 right here. If they have ask if they have any COVID symptoms, ask if they've been in contact with anyone with COVID in the last 14 days. If they answer no to both of those, they're good to go. If they answer yes to either of those, it's just like they have a high temperature. The exact same thing happens. You let them know they can't participate that day. You let them know that Zeeland Rec will be in contact with next steps, and then you pass that name onto your direct contact on the rec staff, and we will handle it from there, and that person will enter our protocol. Last part of the check-in process is a daily attendance. For contact tracing purposes, every single day you must take accurate attendance. We will provide rosters for you that have attendance boxes in them for you to check to make it easy. That'll be in your COVID kit. Return the rosters to us after the program. Give it to your direct contact and the rec staff, because we want to have that in case there's a contact tracing issue that comes up even after the program is done. Next, face coverings. As of right now, it is February 8, 2021, and we'll update this video and document if this changes. But right now, face coverings are required for 5-year-olds plus at all times, no exceptions. That's inside and outside. We will let that know. We will let you know if that changes. Social distancing. Social distancing is not required while participants are actively participating in an activity, as long as face coverings are worn. So for example, during a dance routine, during a basketball drill, during a gymnastics drill, all those types of things, social distancing is not required any longer, as long as the people are actively participating. However, as soon as they're no longer actively participating, letter B here says social distancing is required whenever social distancing is required whenever participants are not engaged in play. So for example, in between drills or stations, while not in the game and on the bench, during water breaks, etc. Social distancing is then required as best you can outside of those activities when the kids or adults are not engaged actively in play or in the activity. Number 7, spectators at outdoor programs. As of right now, again, February 8, 2021. We'll update this if this changes, but face coverings are required for 5-year-olds plus. This is outdoor activities. Social distancing is required for those outside, not in the same household. And there is no limit to spectators. Right now, it's a pretty high limit, and we never come close to that limit, so we're not going to be limiting spectators right now. All you need to worry about is that people are wearing face coverings and people are social distancing. So there's a difference there between indoor and outdoor programs. If you're running an outdoor program, there can be spectators. Parents can watch from the sidelines if they want to, as long as they follow letter A and B. For indoor programs, it's different. Spectators are not allowed in the facility for indoor programs at any time, no matter what. The only exception to that are youth sports games. So for instance, our basketball leagues that are going on right now, 2 spectators are allowed per participant. That is not allowed for clinics, camps, or any program that is not a youth sports game. Parents, however, to clarify this, parents must escort their child still to the door, like we talked about earlier, for the check-in process. Once the child passes the check-in process, then the parent must go home. They can't come inside the facility at any time, because that check-in process for indoor programs, as a reminder, takes place at the exterior of the facility at a certain door, as opposed to in a hallway or outside the gym. It takes place outside. Number 9, spectators at youth sports games. You can go over that if that relates to you, but very few of you will be watching that. We do that training kind of separately. Number 10, stay in assigned locations at indoor programs. So what we're trying to do here is make sure people are not wandering hallways, interacting with custodians or teachers, things like that. We want people confined to the space where the program is. Keep them in the gym, keep them in the studio, keep them in the classroom at all times, unless they are using the restroom. It's that simple. If they need to use the restroom, direct them to the closest restroom, then immediately to come back. Number 11, this is important. Can't speed over this part. At the end of each session, for indoor programs, you must escort the participants to the exit. If it's a youth program, you must stay with every participant until every participant is picked up. Ensure all children are picked up by the parent or guardian. Letter C, thoroughly sanitize all equipment. So every table, chair, piece of equipment you use must be thoroughly sanitized at the completion of your program. Make sure all equipment is put away, and make sure you leave the space cleaner than it was when you arrived so that no one notices we're even there. That's our goal, so that ZPS activities in classes and other programs can begin the next day and they don't even know we were there. Those are our policies. I know it's a decent amount of information, but it's important that we get it right. So far, everything has gone pretty flawlessly, but very few issues. So thank you to those of you that have been doing stuff for us already. And we look forward to that continuing. We're excited for your program to start in the next week or two. If you have any questions after watching this, connect with your direct contact on the rec staff. Be sure to follow the 3 steps that I've put in the email. As well, in addition to watching this video, and make sure you go to that link at the top of the document I was sharing with you to make sure you are aware of what policies we have sent out to parents and participants as well. Thanks for all you do. We'll talk to you soon.